So I know that there's so many of you that are new in the game, and I just wanted to provide some encouragement. First of all, a lot of times it's so much easier to look at our starter locks and feel like, when is my hair ever gonna lock? When is it ever going to bud? When are my ends ever gonna be completely sealed? And we spend so much time looking towards the future that we're not enjoying the present. And I can say that now fully because yes, my hair is locked, but I spent way too much time. I wasted way too much time worrying about the future of my locks than enjoying all that was happening within each phase of the locking process. So don't be like me. Enjoy your process. And I want to share with you some of the things that I really do miss about my starter locks. First, I remember when I went to my first retwist. I think this was like 6 weeks after I installed my two-strand twist, and the young lady that did my hair, she had been in the lock game for a while, and her hair looked amazing. I walked in and I was just like gawking at her hair, and I was like, oh my goodness, I can't wait till my hair looks like that. I can't wait till my hair looks like that. And then she was just like,
girl, you're gonna miss when your hair looks like this.
And she was looking at my twist, and I was like, what are you talking about? There's no way. Like, you are the goal. You are the goalpost. I want to get to where you are. And she's like, trust me, you are going to miss your starter locks. And I didn't believe her. I just kind of laughed it off and I brushed it off. But she was not lying. First things first, starter locks are so soft. They're so pliable. They're so fluffy and just juicy looking. I mean, now I kind of feel like there's a hardness that comes along with locks. There's a thickness that is a little bit more almost stiff. Not that my hair does, I mean, my hair moves, you know, it has life, but it just was so much more, I felt a little bit more breathable, and they were just more fluffy. Like, they weren't as dense. It's just a texture thing. The texture transforms when your hair locks, and it just goes from super soft to not as soft anymore. And it's a weird place to be at, especially when you have bunching in some areas, and then you still have the softness that you can feel for areas of your hair that hasn't locked yet. Yeah, I was just like, yeah, I can't wait till all my hair feels like, you know, a bunched area. But honestly, now that everything is practically locked, it's like, man, I miss the softness. I miss the texture of my starter locks when they were just so much more like loose natural hair, basically. Another thing is that I felt like I didn't worry as much about moisture retention when I was in my starter lock phase, because I could actually feel the softness. My hair had a shine to it that I don't currently have with my locked hair. And I think it's because, you know, loose natural hair just kind of gravitates more to moisture, can easily settle into the hair when you're in those beginning stages than when you're fully locked. I think it takes a little bit more to get penetrated. Like, I think it takes a little more for moisture to really penetrate your hair as a locked natural, because it's going through strands and strands of tangled matted hair. So I miss actually being able, like, being confident that my hair is moisturized. Like, sometimes I'm just not sure. Sometimes I go back and forth. I'm not sure. But with my starter locks, I knew, like, oh, my hair has a shine. It has a luster. It feels really, really good. And that helped build my confidence. Like, okay, I'm doing the right things in terms of moisture. Another thing that I miss is my curly ends. I wanted them to seal so badly. And now I realize that it was a nice thing to have. Those curly ends just brought more texture, more dimension to my hair. It gave me a different look. Now that they're sealed, it's nice, but the curly ends really gave my hair a different dimension. So it wasn't just, you know, all locked. But I remember thinking that when the ends of my hair weren't all the way sealed, that I liked the, you know, the solid look, and then almost like goddess locks. You know, when you have the solid look at the top and then the curls at the bottom. Gives a different look, gives a different perspective on your hair. It just, yeah, it's nice. Don't take for granted your curly ends. Hold on to them for as long as you can. I know this one is really weird. This last and final one is really weird. But I like when people question and doubt, because it means that they're thinking that they're gonna really try to figure out how am I gonna get from point A to point B. And in my starter lock phase, when people saw my twist and I told them that I was locking,
many of them were like, what are you talking about? How are those gonna turn into locks?
And then one day, I don't know what happened, I walked into, I think I had gone to church, and somebody was like, whoa, your hair's locked. And I was like, yeah, I told you. I told you. So it wasn't the fact that, I mean, it felt nice to be able to say I told you, but I also felt like it provided encouragement, like to know that there are different ways that the hair can be locked. It's not just from doing coils, that your hair, if left alone, will lock. So I like being able to show others that there are different methods in being able to lock your hair, and your outcome can still be beautiful. People thinking that your twist, like even my mom was like laughing at me like, girl, those are gonna turn into locks. There's no way. I mean, and then when my hair actually turned into locks, it was like, oh, you were right. You do know what. So it was kind of self-affirming. It gave me confidence to trust the process. Like, hey, people are kind of doubting that this can happen. Here's your chance to prove them otherwise. So I love my starter locks for that. It proved people otherwise. And I know that there's a whole debate about ugly phase, awkward phase, in between phase, blooming phase. I mean, there's so many names for it now. Whatever it is, starter locks are beautiful. They're beautiful now, and they'll be beautiful later. So enjoy wherever you are on the journey. If you're a little further along, let me know some of the things that you may miss about your starter locks. Or if you're in the starter lock phase, tell me what you're going through. What's your mental like as you're on the journey? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.